as I stated earlier, we start the forum with an ayah, a verse from the Quran, and we try to bring a relative meaning to it that is relative to the subject that we will be discussing tonight. So I'd like to focus on the first part. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. And most importantly, the English translation, obviously, indeed Allah orders justice and good conduct and giving to relatives and forbids immorality and bad conduct and oppression. This has been considered the most comprehensive ayah verse in the Quran because it touches a wide range of Islamic teachings that is condensed only in few words. I'd like to focus on one of the three parts that Allah commands and one on three parts that Allah God Almighty forbids. So the first three that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, commands of us is do justice, be good, and give relatives their due. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, He forbids three things: shameful acts, evil deeds, aggression, and transgression. So the two focus points is justice, aggression, or transgression. And I'm going to throw it out to you. How do you define justice? And you can freely shout it out if you would like.
Fairness.
Say that again?
Fairness.
Fairness. How do you define justice?
Treating people equally.
Say it again?
Treating people equally.
Treating people equally.
Keeping the balance.
Keeping the balance. Tell me more about keeping the balance.
Basically, the opposite of justice is injustice or oppression, which is exceeding the limit of something, but keeping things on equal terms is the definition of justice, basically.
Good. Anyone else?
Benefit over harm.
Benefit over harm.
Having our legal rights.
Having your legal rights. So it means, it has different meanings to many of us. And we like to think of simple terms. Every single answer that you've given is the right answer. But in simple terms, it's equal. That's what it comes down to. It becomes to equality. And there's a debate, on further discussion of justice and equality. But equal, really, in simple terms, what it comes down to. So when we think of aggression or transgression, what do you think of? How do you define that? And don't tell me it's the opposite of justice. Just articulate what does it mean to you when you think of aggression or transgression.
Denying people's rights.
Denying people's rights.
To be unfair.
I'm sorry?
To be unfair.
To be unfair.
نصرة القوي على الضعيف.
نصرة القوي على الضعيف. You want to translate that?
Support the stronger.
So support the strong against the weak.
Violating the rights of others.
Violating the rights of others. In simple terms, and every single one is correct. And again, it means differently to other people. But in simple terms, it's crossing the line.
Crossing the red zone, the red line.
I'm not going there. But it's crossing. But it is truly crossing the line. That's when you know that you are on the verge, or if you are really in the aggression, transgression territory.